Hello dear amazing designers, come make this trending Senegalese crinoline hat design with me. Now if you are new to this channel, do me well by clicking on the subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload new tutorials. And to all my old subscribers, thank you so much for sticking by me during this period that I have been away. Moving on to materials needed, the two major materials we need are crinoline, the big size, about 10 yards, and then we also need a hat wire. Other materials include your measuring tape, your scissors, your gum, matching color of thread and needle, as well as accessories for embellishments. In this tutorial, we are going to be working on a crinoline hat design which can be attached to a Zara cap and worn together, or can be worn separately. And for that we needing a crinoline. That is, the hat is made up of the crinoline. It has this it has the crown or the brim, but the crown part is open. So let's say it has the band made of crinoline and it has the brim with the brim in a curved pattern or in a curved shape made with crinoline too. Then for those going to be adding the Zara cap to it, the Zara cap can be made with any fabric of your choice. So this is what makes up this design. And what gives that curvy part of the crinoline brim is the hat wire. The hat wire is what makes it have that curvy look, which makes it unique. Now that we are done, I'm using big size of crinoline, which is about 6 to 7 inches for the width. The quantity depends on how big you want your design to be, how full you also want your design to be, because at the back of the hat design you are going to be having some form of embellishment. It could be bow embellishment, it could be rose embellishment, it could be loops embellishment, depending on your choice or your preference or that of your client. So the quantity of crinoline you'll be using depends on that. But then let's say at most you'll be needing between 7 to 10 yards. Between 7 to 10 yards of crinoline. But again, this depends on how full your design is, because your crinoline design, the hat, the brim part of the hat, can come in 2 steps, it can come in 3 steps, it can come in 1 step. So if it's in 1 step, lesser quantity compared to when it's in 2 steps or in 3 steps. So around 7 to 10 yards should be enough if you know how to manage your fabric very well and also the kind of style you are working on. Now for the materials, we need 2 pieces of hat wire. The length is 50 inches each. 50 inches cut out in 2 places for your hat wire. We need 2 pieces of crinoline. 6 inches crinoline. The length should be 50 inches. Cut out twice, and then the crinoline should be ironed. 2 pieces of 6 inches crinoline, 50 inches for the length, cut out twice and ironed. Now we need 3 pieces of crinoline. Length should be 30 inches. 3 pieces of crinoline, 6 inches to 7 inches for the width, but then the length should be 30 inches. 3 pieces. I already have 2 pieces here. It will be ironed, but when we get to that part, I will illustrate what will be done or how to get this particular size. So this is what we are going to be working with. And then finally, we need about 3 yards of crinoline to make the loop design at the back. This one, there's no specific length for it. You can use 2 yards, you can use 3 yards, you can use 4 yards, depending on how full you want it to be. So this one is going to be at the back. Now, these 2 pieces of crinoline that is 50 inches for the length is going to be for the brim, which is going to be having the hat wire, which is going to be curved. That curved part of the design is this 50 inches part. Why this 30 inches part is going to be for the band. This 30 inches is going to be for the band that is going to be worn on the head. And like I said, the last one, which is about 3 yards, is going to be for the loop design that is going to be at the back. So that is it. Now that that is done, let's go right into the tutorial properly. The first thing I would like us to work on is the band. Okay, the band. If you look carefully at the design, it has a band on top of the head, under the brim, that is under that curved part, also on the head. Okay, that is one side of the band is coming up above the head, the other side is coming down inside the brim or below the brim. So that's like 2 in 1. While the brim, that curved part, is coming round it at the middle. Now I have the first piece of fabric here. I cut out 30 inches, but as soon as we're done ironing and stitching or gluing down, I will decrease it to the actual head size I want to work with. When I get each piece of fabric, this is what I will do. I'm going to fold it into 3 and then iron it out to straighten it. This is the first folding. I will fold it down to the middle part like this. I will fold in the lower part that on top of the first side. I will go ahead to place my iron on it and iron it down to the very end. Now let me take it again. Fold the upper part down to the middle and then fold the lower part on it. Then get your iron and then iron it out to straighten it from one end to the other end. And that is how I was able to get these 2 pieces right here. If you look carefully, you will see what I was trying to illustrate. Okay, I folded in the upper part down to the middle, folded the lower part on top of it and ironed it to the very end. I have 2 pieces here for a start. I cut out 30 inches because at times these edges are always fraying. So if I cut out the actual head size, by the time I want to cut off this fraying edge, it will get much more shorter than what I need. That's why it is this way. Now after ironing your fabric, this part is what I prefer doing. I prefer stitching. I don't like gluing. I'm going to place one on each other like this. This is it. Okay, this is the open part. That's the open part. So I'll just place one on each other like this. Take it down to my sewing machine and stitch it through at the middle to join both parts together as one. So get it, place one end on the other end like this. Take it down to your sewing machine, stitch it through from one end to the other, after which I'll get back having 1 pieces. Right here I have my fabric already sewn. I made use of my sewing machine to stitch it down together. Okay, I've stitched both of them together and I have 1 piece. Remember I cut out 30 inches and then I will go ahead to decrease it down to 25 inches. If your head circumference is a little bit too large, you can also use 25.5 inches. In addition, I want to emphasize that you can use only a single piece. Just get it, fold it into 3 and then iron it out, then fold it to give it the round shape for your band. Only 1 single pieces instead of using 2 pieces. Then again, you can still get 1 single pieces, fold it into 2, iron it out and use it for your band. So you must not, it's not compulsory that you will use 2 different pieces of crinoline for the band. I just hope you get my explanation. You can use 1 pieces folded in 3 times, folded into 3, iron it out for your band, or use only 1 pieces and fold it into 2 and iron it out. As soon as that is done, this is what I get. It's now shorter. So this my sewn part, or this my band rather, has 2 parts. There's this part that has this open side and then there's this fine side that has been covered or that is covered, while this other part has the open edge. I'm going to fold my my band into 2 equal halves with this open end outside and then this fine side inside, so you will see this open end outside. The reason is that I want this fine side to be worn on the head. Then this side that is open, we'll place the brim around it and cover with another fabric. Reason is because I don't want a situation where this open side will be inside the head, and probably depending on the hairstyle you start pulling off, and I don't want to use gum on it. I don't know if you get my explanation. So I'll fold it into two. The smooth side should be outside, the smooth side should be inside, and this open end should be outside. Then I will get my gum, or I will stitch again, apply glue, and then glue it down like this. So this is my brim now. I've applied gum on one end, so I'll just go ahead to glue this down and allow it to get dry. It can vary depending on your head size or head circumference. You can also use 25 inches, but I think 25 inches should be the least, so that it can fit inside it can fit the head properly. 24 inches or 24.5 inches, so I can fit the head properly, especially after attaching the brim. That's that curved part and sewing it. So this is it. I'll set this aside while we work on that curved end. Now I'm going to be working on a two-step crinoline hat, and like I said earlier, for that we need the hat wire, and we are going to be working with the hat wire first. So from my hat wire comes in a ring like this, so it's like this, and from there I'm going to measure out 50 inches twice. So I'll measure out 50 inches twice and cut it out. So as soon as that is done, this is what I have. This is the first piece of hat wire, and whatever I'm doing for this particular hat wire should also be repeated for the second piece. Now after cutting out each piece of hat wire, we are going to get one end, place it on top of the other end so that they both overlap, and then we'll close it down using our paper tape or our thread. So this is what I mean. Get one end, place it on top of each other like this so that they overlap. I have my masking tape, your sellotape. Get it and use it to secure both ends. In place of this, you can use your gum, piece of fabric, or piece of thread. Now that that is done, this is what we have. We're having a ring or a circle, and then the next thing we'll be doing is I'll be covering up the hat wire so that it's no longer visible. Now for that, you can use your bias tape of matching color with that of your crinoline. So this is bias tape. This is how it looks like. But then I couldn't get that color of bias, so instead I'll be using this velvet bias, this shiny one. It has the plain one, it has the shiny one, it comes in color. This is velvet bias tape, or velvet ribbon rather, whichever you call it. So this is what I'm going to be doing. Now I'll apply gum at the edge, and then I'll go ahead to place my hat wire in, and I'll glue it down. So I'll do this till I've covered the entire hat wire with this or with my bias tape. So for my gum, you can make use of any gum of your choice, and I have my UAG gum here. There's B6000 gum, B6000 or B7000. So just go ahead to apply gum at the edge of your bias tape or your velvet fabric, and then place your hat wire in the middle of the fabric, allow air to pass through it a bit, and then go ahead to glue it down together. Now remember to repeat this same process for the second piece of hat wire which we have cut out. If you are working on 3 steps, you'll be needing 3 hat wire in that order. So this is it, and that is what I'll keep doing till I've gone around this entire hat wire and I've had it covered. Now this is the second piece of hat wire already done before. Now you can see that it is fully covered with my fabric. So I'll set this aside. The next one we're going to be moving on is the crinoline. We're going to be getting measurements for the crinoline. Now for the brim, because I'm working on 2 steps, I have 2 pieces of crinoline here. Measurement is 50 inches for the length, cut out twice, and then you measure out 50 inches. Then you iron both pieces of fabric. Please iron both pieces of fabric. Now we are done. Let's start with this first piece of fabric. I'm going to place it this way, one on each other. I will either use my glue or I'll place it down my sewing machine and stitch it down. I will either apply gum to glue it down together, or I'll place it on my sewing machine and stitch it down. So 50 inches for the length, fold into 2 and then place one end on the other, stitch down or glue down together. And don't forget to repeat this particular step for the other crinoline fabric. So this is mine. I used my glue and I've glued it down. I allowed air to pass through it and it's all dried. So you see that we have like a ring or a round structure. So we're going to fold this into 2. But before then, I will get my first heart wire, which has already been wrapped. This is it, and I'm going to be placing in the middle of my crinoline this way. See me placing it inside my crinoline, ensuring that it's at the middle of the crinoline while both other edges of the crinoline meet. Then I'm placing this end where I joined the heart wire at the back. Now that that is done, I'm going to get my needle and thread of matching color and we'll make a running stitch through it. So from this end, please secure your thread very well. Like I said earlier, please iron your crinoline. Don't forget to iron your crinoline. So make sure you fold both ends together and then you make your running stitch through it. Please capture both ends of your crinoline while making your running stitch. Right here, I have the first pieces of crinoline with my heart wire in it. I've made my running stitch. On getting to where I started from, I'm just going to pull this tightly. Okay. Another easier hack which I found is this. Instead of making your running stitch round your crinoline one after the other, as soon as you have placed your heart wire in the middle of each of your crinoline, you can get both pieces, place one on each other, and then make your running stitch once through both pieces of crinoline that has your heart wire. But then this time around, instead of you picking only 2 pieces of crinoline, because you know that one crinoline fabric, when you fold it into 2, the edge is 2 pieces. Instead of picking only 2 pieces to make your running stitch through, you'll be picking 4 pieces, 2 from one crinoline and the other 2 from another crinoline, and then you'll be able to make your running stitch through it once instead of doing it separately. I'll just pull tightly until I get that curved shape, and then I'll go ahead to set it in place. And then the question of how can I know when to stop pulling, you just get your brim and then open your you just get your band, rather open your heart wire until it can go round it. So this is it. After struggling for a while, I've been able to place the what they call it, the band gear inside this brim. So now I can go ahead to pull, and as I'm pulling, I'm checking the size if it's okay. If it's not okay, I will release it. So this would guide me. Another option is to place this on your head until it passes through your head. Okay, and then you pull. As you're placing it on your head, you pull until you get the perfect size for your head size. Another option is to get your Zara cap, for example, and then pass it through your Zara cap. As you pass it through your Zara cap, you pull until you get the perfect size for it. So these are three options. Use this, your Zara cap, or your actual head size. Now I'm going to now go back, fix this again, get the actual head size, secure my thread, cut off the excess thread, and then repeat the same thing for the second curved crinoline design. So after stitching and getting my head size, I've secured that point. So what I'll be doing next is that I'll be placing one on each other this way, and I'll be stitching them together. Now please, while trying to get your curve, try as much as possible to ensure that these two parts where you glue down your crinoline, they are at the same side, so that it will be easy for you to cover that part up using your rose design or your loop design. Okay, your design at the back should be at the back. So now that we have gotten that, I'm going to stitch round both pieces to join them together as one, still using my needle and thread. You can also consider trying making one step of the crinoline bigger than the other. That is, the first one directly on the head will be a bigger size, while the one on top of it will be a smaller size. It's another design on its own. At this point, I'm done sewing both pieces together using my needle and thread, and they're joined together as one. So I have this curved end and I have the band here. Please, depending on how wide you want your band is, you have to take that into consideration when you place one on each other to stitch it down, so as to give you this round band. So I'm going to now place both of them together. Okay. So this is it. I'm done placing them together. This is how it's looking like. And the next thing we're going to be doing is that we're going to be stitching both together using my needle and thread. So I'm going to stitch it in a way that if there's any open end at the lower part, my curved end will be on it, and I'll be able to use my needle and thread to stitch it down. Okay, it's not, the stitching is not difficult. You just pass your needle and thread through it, and then ensure that this part where you glued together to form this round band is at this end. So at this part where you have this gummed part for this curved end. Very, very important. So I'll just start passing my needle and thread through it gradually till I have gone round and it is firmly secured in place. So you see this open end here. I'll place it properly, place it very well, then place my curved end on it, use my needle and thread to stitch it in place, so that when my client gets it, it doesn't come off at all. So I'll do this till I've secured this round, and then I'll get back for us to continue. So as soon as I'm done stitching and tacking it down, this is how it's looking like. So I'm almost done. Next thing I'll do is I'll get the third piece of the band. This is the third piece of the band, and then on the uppermost part, the part that's going to be on top of the head, I'm going to get this. I'll apply gum and glue it round in such a way that my sewing stitches at the edge of the crinoline, where I joined everything together, will be covered by this third piece of fabric. So from this end, I'll apply gum, gradually round it till it comes to this end at the back, and then I'll cut off the excess fabric. Now, if you don't want to end up using 3 pieces, instead of using the third piece of crinoline for this part, you can simply get your trimming, any accessory of your choice, and then use it for this part. So after allowing air to pass through it, as soon as you are done applying your gum, gradually start gluing this down. You have to be very careful so that there are no gum stains at this point. Now that that is done, I have the uppermost part like this, I have the lower part like this. If you check the lower part, you still see that there are places where your thread is visible. You can get your applique, your ribbon, your bias tape, or even your crinoline to cover it again on the lower part of your hat. But then this is it. So after this, as soon as I'm done adding my design at the back, I will get an accessory to embellish this edge, and I'm good to go. So moving on, the next thing we're going to be working on is the design that is going to be at the back. Now coming over to the loops design, first and foremost, I have 2 yards of fabric here. Later decreased it down to 2 yards, and then I've secured this edge. So I'll fold this into 3, fold it like this, tack it together, fold into 3, fold it into 2 like this, tack it together again, and that is how I'll keep folding into 3 and tacking in different direction. I'll keep folding and tacking. That is how to get your loops design. So please come with me as I create mine. So I'll keep folding, keep tacking, keep adding more in that order until I have a lot here. Moving on to design 2, I have another 2 yards of crinoline here. I started by securing the edge, and then I went ahead to start folding into 3 and then folding in a round or circular shape. If you look carefully, you see that it is small and round. I folded into 3, folded it in a round shape, and then tacked it down together. So that's what I'll keep doing. I'll keep folding into 3 and then keep folding in a round shape in different direction and stacking together. So this particular rows, you fold or loop, you fold into three, then you fold it in a circular. This time around it's circle, it's not flat and it's not long. Fold into three and fold it down like a circle, a coil. Then use your needle and thread to tack it through in addition to the previous ones. And then see the way the design is coming. So this is what I'll keep doing till I exhaust this fabric. Now let me take it again. Fold it into three, then you fold it. This is it in three. Folded it into three, you fold it round. Okay, you fold it round like a circle, then tack using your needle and thread. Tack it down to the previous designs. This is it now, and I'll just tack it through. This is another crinoline, a third piece of crinoline. It is 48 inches for the length. So I'm just going to cut this into 4 pieces and I will use this to create a bow. The truth is that I struggled a bit with this 48 inches length for this bow because it was a little too small. So I recommend you get 54 inches, which is about 1.5 yard for the bow, so that it won't be too small and you won't struggle with it while trying to stitch it to create the bow design. Now I'm folding this down like this and I'll make a running stitch through it, and I repeat the same thing for other piece of fabric that are there, other 3 pieces of fabric that are left. So I'll just tie this through. So this is one. I'll get the second one, fold it into 2, gather the edges, place it down like this, go ahead to secure it again. Now I have 2 pieces done. Then these other 2 pieces left, the same thing. Fold it, gather it. This time around I'm placing it like this. I'm placing it like this. And then I will tack through it again. Now the last piece, the same thing also. So as soon as I'm done tacking, I have this 4-in-1 bow. I have this loop, and I also have this other one. That makes it 3 designs. I use 2 yards of crinoline for this, 2 yards of crinoline for this, 48 inches for this, but I will advise you increase this down to 55 inches so that the bow can sit in place very well. And then I also have my hat. So this is what I will do. I will get this, place it at the back, this part where we did all the gluing, place it at the back like this. I will get this, place it on it. Okay, I'm going to start tacking gradually. I want to take my needle backwards. So this is it. I'll get this other one, place it on it, and then tack it through or glue together. And finally the last one, I'll place at the middle like this, and then tack everything or glue everything down together. And this is how the back view will be, so full of embellishment. This is the front view, and then that part that we had glued will be hidden. So I'm going to do the tacking off camera and then get back to show us. After tacking down everything together, this is how the back view is looking like. This is how the front view is looking like. Remember I said you can use any accessory for embellishment. You can also come back to cover this side with your crinoline or any applique, just to cover the sewing stitches here. So this is how it's looking like. And then you can go ahead to get your elastic. This is our 7 inches. Tack it down on one side, and then get the other side, tack it down the other side, so that your client can wear it to the elastic. This option, I'm not doing this. I'm okay with the head size. There are some people that will tell you, I need elastic on it, I need hairband on it. Choices differ, so you can also do that. Now you can try to wear this alone like this, or you can try to do it to have it worn with your Zara cap together. So work on the Zara cap, and then I'll get back to show us how it will be worn. You can get your applique to apply glue around the edges or on your bias tape for beautification. I'll come to the Zara cap, which is optional. We need our marco and our fabric. For my marco, I have 2.5 inches for the width by 19 inches for the length. You can also use 20, anywhere between 18.5 to 20 inches is okay. So 2.5 by 19, that's it for mine here. Then I have my fabric here. I have 24 inches by 15 inches. 24 inches for the head circumference on the stretcher part by 15 inches for the width. Now, as we are sewing, that is when we join the fabric together to form the cap. From that point, you can go ahead to take the actual head circumference you are working with, if you are working with a very stretchy fabric. Now that that is done, I'm going to open my fabric into 2 equal halves, and then get my marco. Ensure that my marco is placed right at the middle of my fabric, and then I'll start by folding in this end of my fabric. Fold it in this way so as to cover the fraying edges, and I'll go ahead to pull down my fabric like this, place it down on my sewing machine, and stitch it down from one end to the other end. Thereafter, I'll get back. After sewing my fabric, this is what I have. This is the other side. So I'm going to be pulling my fabric in to hide my sewing stitch. This part that has the sewing stitch, I'll pull it till it comes to the middle part. Okay, so this is me. Just keep pulling my fabric inwards. I'll pull my fabric inwards till I'm done. As soon as that is done, this is it. You can see that the sewn part is no longer visible. I'll place it down this way. Hold my fabric, fold it into 2 equal halves, take it down to my sewing machine, stitch this way down and to this way, stitch from the band down to this end, and extend it to this very end. Also remember to now take the actual head circumference of what you are working on. Now that that is done, let's make a sewing stitch to come immediately after the band down to this end, so as to form gathers. As soon as that is done, this is it. I'll go ahead to turn it inside out, and I have my Zara cap ready. I have a Zara cap, and I have my hat, So I'm just going to place this like this, and then I can wear it together like this. So I can wear it like this together. Probably it's a black Zara cap color. So I wear my Zara cap this way. Now if you want to add this to your Zara cap, make your Zara cap separately. You can now use your gum to glue it down. Or better still, instead of using gum, use your needle and thread at the back here. Tack down your heart that's already been made before you add this your accessory. Tack it down to your Zara cap and it will be joined together as one. Now I want to show you something. This is another design which I'm working on. This time around, if you look carefully, you see that this part here rather is smaller. If you check the inner part, this is it here, it is smaller. This part here is smaller, and I use only 2 pieces. This one is 1 and it is small. So I just got 1 pieces of 30 inches by the width of the ashoki, and I folded it into 3, and then I gummed it at the back. Then I placed this my design at the middle of that 1 pieces. Now for this black part, you can see that here this lower part directly on the head is longer compared to this red one, which is shorter. This particular one is just, this red one is just 1 pieces. Then I placed this curved part on it at the middle. While this particular part is 2 pieces, that's why it is this long. Then I placed one on each other and had it sewn together to form 1 piece before I now added this third one. Why for this red 1 pieces, I placed my curved part on it, then I got the second pieces and then glue it round it. That is to say, you can use only 2 pieces of your band, you can use 3 pieces of your band. This tutorial illustrates how to use 3 pieces for your band, while this one is just 1 pieces for your band and 1 pieces to cover it up. I just hope you get it. So that is all that there is to it. I'll place this on my dummy head to show us the final outlook. Please, if you have questions to ask based on this tutorial or other designs, kindly leave a comment in the comment section, or to get a faster reply, please send a message, a WhatsApp message to the number on your screen. And do well to follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok. I'm there as Jenie Concept. I also have a WhatsApp community as well as a Telegram community where you meet and interact with other designers. To join that group, please send me a DM on WhatsApp with the number on your screen, or check the description box below this video for the link to join the groups directly. Thank you.